Hey guys, what's up? So earlier this year, I made two videos about the UGREEN DXP4800 Plus. First calling it the ultimate solution to expensive Apple storage, and then a long-term update because so many of you had been asking about it, especially how it held up. Spoiler alert, it held up really well. The good people over at UGREEN just dropped the new DXP4800 Pro, and since they are a channel partner, they sent me the unit early so I could test it out for you guys. And while I wouldn't call it a full successor to the DXP4800 Plus, it's a bit of a facelift, if you will, but it's a facelift worth talking about. So if you've been on the fence about getting one of these, stick around, and if you missed the previous videos, don't worry, I'll get you up to speed really quick. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like they want some.
So yeah, Apple storage is, and I cannot stress this enough, an absolute robbery. Maxing out the SSD on the latest MacBook Pro will run you over $2,000 just for the storage. Maxing out the storage on a Mac Mini costs about the same as buying two whole base model Mac Minis. iPhones, iPads, same story. Every tier you climb is another 100 or 200 bucks. And here's the part that really gets me. If you've got a MacBook and an iPad and an iPhone, and let's be honest, most of us watching probably do because we're Apple heads, you don't pay the storage tax once, you pay it 3 times. For storage, you can't even share between the devices. So most of us end up doing the same thing I've been doing for years, which is buying the lowest amount of internal storage you can live with and supplement that with external SSDs. But those have their own problems. They get lost, they fill up, the big ones aren't cheap, especially these days, and if the drive isn't with you, well, neither are your files, and that's where this thing comes in. For anyone new to the NAS systems, NAS stands for Network Attached Storage. It's exactly what it says on the tin, a box full of hard drives attached to your network that every device you own can tap into. Your MacBook, your iPhone, your iPad, your kids' iPads, the desktop you almost never turn on, all connected to one massive shared pool of storage from anywhere in the world. You're building your own private cloud, if you will, except you own it. Now, I'll be straight with you, this is not a cheap purchase. You're not just buying the box, you're gonna have to invest as well in hard drives, and like we said earlier, those aren't exactly running at bargain prices these days. But this is a classic buy once, cry once situation. Let me explain. You spend the money one time, and this thing lasts you for years, and the math is brilliant. Once you have a NAS in your house, you can buy the base model of every single Apple device going forward because the storage doesn't live on those devices anymore, it lives in here. That $2,000 storage upgrade, don't need it. Multiply that across every device in your household and the NAS pays for itself within no time. Right, so the Pro. Like I said, this is a facelift, not a ground up redesign, and honestly, I'm fine with that because UGREEN got the original right. Same gorgeous chassis, built like a tank, anodized aluminum, still looks fantastic on a desk, same 4 drive bays, same dual M.2 NVMe SSD slots, same dual networking with 10 gigabit Ethernet plus a 2.5 gig port as well. But what changed is what matters. UGREEN swapped out the brain. You're now running a 13th gen Intel Core i3, 6 cores in a hybrid configuration, properly fast. The RAM ceiling went up to a frankly ridiculous 96 gigabytes if you ever wanted to push it that far, but honestly, most of us, that would be total overkill. Both NVMe slots are now running on the faster PCIe 4 standard. In plain English, multitasking is a lot smoother. More devices can hammer this thing at once, and if you're a creator throwing 4K video or RAW files even at this thing, it just doesn't break a sweat, and that's a real upgrade. Now, this is the part that scares most people off NAS systems, and it really shouldn't. Watch this. The drive bays pop right out, no tools, no screws, you drop the hard drives in, slide the tray back in, and it locks. Rinse and repeat for all 4 bays. The 2 NVMe SSD slots are just as easy. Pop the cover, slide them in. Those can be configured as cache to speed up your main storage, or they can act as a separate, very fast SSD storage pool for editing those active video projects, for example. And by the way, UGREEN is compatible with a lot of brands that we all know and love. WD Red, Seagate, Iron Wolf, Toshiba N300s, you name it, they're all good to go. I'll put a link to the full list in the description below the video. Anyway, once the drives are in, you turn it on and the system literally walks you through everything. Storage setup, RAID configuration, your user account, step by step. I'm not an IT specialist, I'm an end user, just like you guys. And the interface they've built, called UGOS Pro, it's clean, it's modern, it almost feels Apple-esque if you know what I mean. The storage manager, the file manager, the app store for installing extra services, everything is exactly where you'd expect it to be, super intuitive, and the mobile app, which I actually use every single day, feels like a proper modern iOS app, not some janky Windows 98 looking companion app like you see on some of the other brands. The whole experience is built so a complete beginner can get this thing running in about 15 minutes maximum, and that is where UGREEN really shines in my opinion. They made NAS systems easy to understand for the general public. And let's talk capacity and speed. With 4 drive bays, plus the 2 NVMe slots, you can scale this thing up to 144 terabytes of storage. To give you an idea, that's roughly 50 million photos, almost 10,000 movies, or 150 million general files. You could not run out of space on this thing even if you tried. But having a ton of storage doesn't really matter if it's slow. But it isn't. Let me just grab a few video files to show you how fast I can copy things from my Mac directly to the NAS over the local network. Pretty impressive, right? Now, this next feature is a huge workflow win if you work with big files. Using something called SMB, don't worry, it's just a file sharing protocol, I can mount the NAS in Finder so it actually shows up as a regular drive on my Mac. And that means I can edit straight off the NAS. I don't even have to copy the footage onto my Mac first, which I hate and which kind of would also defeat the purpose because you don't want to have that storage on your Mac. I open it in Final Cut Pro, I do my thing, and I save it right back to this NAS. Combined with the 10 gig Ethernet and the NVMe cache, scrubbing through 4K footage is not an issue. For photographers, videographers, anyone with big projects, this alone will save you hours every single week. Now, for you shutterbugs out there, you're gonna like this one even more. The 4800 Pro has that built-in AI photo manager, so you dump your entire library onto it, and the system automatically classifies everything by people, places, animals, objects, scenes, you name it. I can literally type dog or beach or car, and it pulls up everything matching that shot. And it'll also flag duplicates, which is really useful for me because I always dump way too many files twice, 3 times just to be sure, you know? Well, this thing takes care of that. And here's the part that matters most. The AI runs locally on the NAS itself. No internet connection, no cloud upload, no third-party server. Your photos, your face data, your kids' faces, your locations, none of it ever leaves this box. And for something this powerful, that's a really big deal. Just a quick note, you do want at least about 200 photos uploaded to this thing for the AI to properly start doing its thing. But I mean, if you have less than 200 photos, you don't really need it in the first place, right? But dump your huge libraries on this thing, and that's where it really shines. Now, I know a lot of you are probably already on Google Drive or iCloud, and you're wondering, do I have to now move everything to this thing? And the answer is no, you don't. The Pro has a built-in cloud drive that connects directly to Google Drive and other services, sync, migrate, or backup files between the two with just a few clicks. I also use it in the other direction. My NAS automatically backs itself up off-site because, and this is important, a RAID configuration is useful, but it's not a backup. Even the best NAS in the world is not 100% fail-safe. Your house could catch fire and this thing could burn down with it. Let's hope that never happens, but you know what I mean, right? So the NAS is not a final solution to everything. Always keep your important data in at least one more place, always. And because this thing supports RAID 0, 1, 5, 6, and 10, plus as many user accounts as you want, all with their own granular permissions, you can give your family their own logins. You could give your editor access to one specific folder and lock the rest down, for example. One NAS, one purchase, every person in the household, every device sorted. So yeah, the DXP4800 Pro might be a facelift, but it's a facelift that makes me want to recommend this one if you're buying a new NAS. You stop paying Apple storage tax, every device in your house, every person in your household, every file you own, all in one place, all accessible from anywhere in the world. And like I said, buy once, cry once. Check the link in the description to grab a discount. Give the video a like if it was useful, really helps the channel too. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one.